What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to ST Supercars. I realise it's been a very long time since I've done a video. I've just been extremely busy with work and moving house. However, here we are today and it's a beautiful day and we've made a trip down to Southampton. So one of my good friends has recently picked up a F31 330 gig. To see Simon from Bavarian Coding. A lot of people know him from the forums. I'll put a link down below so you can get in touch if you want anything doing, but basically the guy is an F series BMW god. If there's anything you need doing or there's anything wrong with your car, he's the guy to go to, man. So check him out. His details are below. But yeah, we're here. The car is getting an Alpena gearbox flash. So we'll do some before and afters so I can show you what it was like before, what the changes have made, and he's getting a full xDrive update, so it'll be up to the latest software version and the latest maps. So yeah, I mean, that's only a small snippet of what Simon actually offers, but take a look at his page and see. Hold on a second, stop the video there. So you joined me 2-3 weeks after filming that initial video in my flat, and when I sat down and went to edit this video you're about to watch, I realised I'd not actually achieved what I set out to achieve initially, and that was I wanted to make something which would be interesting to some people, but most importantly I actually wanted it to be an informative video. But whether it's because I've not filmed for a while, whatever the reason, on the day I didn't actually talk through the differences between like what the Alpena gearbox flash brings and what you get from the 2018 update. So I'm just going to quickly run through those two things now and then we'll jump right back into the video. So first of all, if we take a look at the Alpena gearbox flash, as suggested by the name, it comes from the Alpena D3. So that car has physically the same gearbox, the difference is the software, and that's where the gearbox flash comes in. So for anyone who's worried about safety or whether it will do damage to your gearbox, you can be safe in the knowledge that it is actually the exact same gearbox as that's used in the Alpena. So it is safe. However, one thing I would like to highlight is obviously if you're in warranty, just bear that in mind because it may have an impact. So what do you get with the Alpena gearbox flash? So first and foremost, you get both smoother and faster changes. Now, smoothness for me, never really an issue with the ZF8 speed. I've never thought, wow, this is horrible. However, speed is something that's important, so the speed of the shift. And for me, where it's most noticeable on a 35D and 330D, having driven them both, is the upshift, particularly in manual. So if you're on the pedals, I always found there was a slight delay on the upshift. However, the Alpena gearbox flash completely rectifies that. It's not dual clutch quick, but by God, it's not far off, honestly. So that is a dramatic improvement. When you're in D mode, it will now actually shift up ever so slightly earlier. So say you floor it, what it does is it shifts up ever so slightly earlier in the rev range to keep you in the torque band, basically. It wants to keep you at optimal torque for as long as possible. Another thing you get in D is it will now display the gear you're in. So on the little screen where it just used to display D, you now get D1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, depending on what gear you're in. Again, not a massive change, but it's just nice to know what gear the car is in when you're actually driving in automatic mode. If you push the gear stick lever over to the left, you'll knock it into gearbox sport mode. And this is where the real change happens. So first of all, the gearbox will hold onto a gear for longer. So it, rather than changing up at kind of 4, 4.5, it now changes up 5, 5.5. Big difference. And what that means is you've got more of a power band to play with. So it just revs that little bit higher. Another thing which you now get in sport mode is it will actually, say you're cruising along the motorway, rather than sticking in S7, it will now it will now shift up to S8. So again, it just means you don't have to take it out of sport if you're on the motorway because it will actually shift up to that last gear for cruising. So that is a big bonus. Something which a lot of owners who've had this gearbox flash done have reported back is they've seen an increase in MPG. So the people I know who have had it done have also seen that increase in MPG on the computer, so the trip computer, from what it was before over a set amount of time / miles, and same again for after. So again, I'm not saying I can categorically say you're going to get an increase in MPG, because obviously if you're in S mode all the time and you're using more of that rev range, you are going to use more fuel. But if you drive it in comfort most of the time and just normal D, you might find, because it does now shift up that little bit earlier, you are actually using a little bit less fuel. So that covers the Alpena gearbox flash. And then with the 2018 update, basically if your car hasn't been into BMW for a while, they may have released updates for your modules. So what this does is just flashes any modules which require an update to bring them up to the latest software version. And what Simon will also do is generate an FSC code. So that means moving forward, you've got basically it's a code for life. And all you then need to do is download the actual maps files and then upload, basically install them to the car. So this is something on the day, I think I mentioned in the video, Simon forgot one of his cables, which actually meant he couldn't upload the latest version of maps. But because we already had a downloaded version back at home, what we said is, rather than wasting loads of time driving back and forth, is if you can generate the FSC code, give us that, we will then go back home and install the maps, which have subsequently been done, and there are no problems. And I think he's running 2018-2 now. So yeah, that kind of covers both of the aspects of this video. Obviously Simon does a whole host of things, whether it's retrofitting, whether you've got problems with your car, whether it's software, hardware, whatever the issue, whatever it may be, he can do it. Honestly, he knows everything about the F-Series platform. I think I've mentioned it a few times in the video, but his link is below, so I'd highly recommend anyone with an F-Series car to check him out. Anyway, let's get back into the video. So we've taken a little stroll around the corner and stumbled across these two absolute beauties. These.
Oh no, it's got a...
So,
what's that? Oh,
M4.
FI exhaust.
Some nice carbon ceramics. The gentleman's Instagram, who owns the car, I imagine. And then at the rear, a lovely aftermarket exhaust. Very nice. So while the final bits are being done on the car, I thought we could just take a little walk around inside the lockup. Obviously F31 behind us right there. And then over here, there is a full M4 system. You've got some M-Performance side skirts, you've got a rear bumper. It's basically just a lot of stuff in here. And a ride-on lawnmower. Wheels over here. Wheels, and then up here, I don't know if you can see that, but there is loads of detailing stuff. But yeah, basically the car is now done. It's had the Alpena flash and the full update. The only thing it's missing is 2018 maps, which the FSC code has been generated, and we're just going to update when we get home. But yeah, I think it's time to wrap this video up. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been useful. Anyone who wants to get in touch with Simon, anything done on their F-Series, use the links below. And yeah, I'll see you all very soon. Cheers.